toddler or more of a toddler. We're talking more of a toddler age, even though babies can be turning pages and doing physically and mentally, okay? Because physically, one, we're trying not to get sick, and we're trying not to bring the sickness back into our homes, right? So, and mentally, have you ever been around 12 sick toddlers? You still have to comfort them. You still have to engage and play with them. You still have to change them. You still have to have very much so intimate, hand-to-hand engagement with each toddler. Hey guys, welcome to your new favorite education podcast, Childcare Unlocked, where we talk about all things education, from childcare to college. On this platform... Hey teacher besties, welcome back to Childcare Unlocked, where we talk about all things education, from childcare to college. This episode, we are going to be talking about daycare teacher dynamics in the classroom, okay? Because we have talked about the sickness and we have talked about one other thing, but let's talk about the dynamic in the classroom among the teachers, not just the children, because it starts with the teachers first. Okay, it starts with the teachers first. So first, when you come into the room in the morning, you have to make sure your energy is correct, because no matter what you got going on at school, at work, if you have another job, at home, if you sick, none of it matters. Okay, none of it matters, because the children do not care. They don't care. And depends on what age group that you have. They gonna want their diaper change, they gonna want their bottle, and they gonna want their crackers. Now, when they ask for it, they do not care. Okay, so check your energy for real before you come in, because if you keep your energy like that, in that negative space, in that tired space, in that exhausted space, you will have a terrible day. You will really have a terrible day, because children smell fear. Okay, children smell fear. So please check your energy before you come up in the door, because they will eat you alive. They will eat you alive. They don't care nothing about what you got going on. Alright? At all. So, teacher dynamics is so important. So important in the classroom, and it's one of the main reasons why I feel like the children act positively or negatively in the room because of the teacher dynamic. If they see the teachers are not getting along, then why should they follow instructions? Why should they use walking feet? Why should they not flip their plate across the table? Like real life, because it's like, why would I sit there and act right when these teachers are in front of me bickering? So the teacher dynamic is especially probably one of the number one reasons on why classrooms usually don't work. You really can have the best curriculum in the world, but if the teachers don't get along, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So I want y'all to either go to admin or see if there's, especially if you've exhausted all of the options. If you've had a powwow and, classroom meeting, hey, this is what we can do better, grows and glows, like what you're doing good, what you can do better, all the routines, and like making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. But if you've exhausted all the options, you gotta go to admin. Or you just have to learn how to maneuver around the person, unfortunately. But usually that's not fair, because the days be long. The days be long when you have to maneuver around a whole body in the room, because a lot of the times, unfortunately, people hire just because they are head. They hire based off of head sometimes, not based off of qualifications sometimes. And that's kind of how we be stuck with these people, that is like, how you get this job. But that's how that be happening. But sometimes you have to maneuver around the person or go to admin, because sometimes the admin is not helpful. You're just gonna have to maneuver around that person, because I know the economy now, you can't just pick up and get another job. So you should be there. So move around the person, see if you and your other teacher, if you have 3 teachers, if you have 2 teachers, you gonna really have to try to make that work. But if you have 3 teachers, see if you can maneuver around the person, and y'all can do 50-50 and really talk about it and see how y'all can make the day go better and more smoother, maneuvering around her, unfortunately. Because depending on the people that you deal with, it could be tricky. Like, you can really, really be dealing with the person internally and dealing with a whole list of stuff. A whole list of stuff that don't have nothing to do with you and don't have nothing to do with the job. Like, they just real life need therapy, and they need to go do that, not be up in here. But neither here nor there. Everybody got to get their coin. So have a conversation with your other teacher if you have 3 teachers, and if you have if it's just you and that person, go to admin and ask if they can be the third person in the meeting to try to delegate the meeting better, so maybe they can, hear the information clearer, maybe. But it is difficult. It is difficult, because I have had a difficult person in my room before, and me and my other teacher had to maneuver around her, and we had to split the work 50-50. But during that, and having to watch the children, stuff was happening. We were constantly having accidents. We were constantly having stuff going on, because we're splitting the work 50-50 when this person in the middle is like la 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 la. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the day is getting longer, more excruciating, and you definitely don't want to go to work now, because now I gotta do 10 times as much work as I was doing before, because this person is not pulling their weight. So have a classroom meeting. If the classroom meeting does not work, then add in admin to see if that meeting will go better. Other than that, just be like, have a heart to heart with admin. Like, look, I love my children, I love my classroom, and I love my job. Can she switch with somebody? Can she go to another room? Because I really don't want every single day to feel extremely dreadful just because this person doesn't want to do their work that, everybody's doing. But I definitely think you got to figure it out, because the days is going to be terrible. Days is going to be terrible. But I don't think it depends on the experience. I really think it depends on the person, because I had little to no experience, and I only had a high school diploma and working on a certification. But I was more than willing to help where and when I could, in any capacity, especially if I see the other person doing their job too. So it's like, I don't see how fair it is. Like, I'm like, it's not fair for you to be doing all the work, and then on top of that still have to watch the children. So I was more than willing to help. So if you have people that are more than willing to help, to learn, to really like just do their job, then it ain't gonna be no problem. Ain't gonna be no problem at all. But for people maybe like new grads that just came out of college, people that just came out of high school, like people that are like really, really new to the space. It's going to take them some time to adjust because dealing with multiple children at one time is going to take some time to adjust. Because I know a lot of people coming out of high school, coming out of college, stuff like that, you've probably dealt with 1 to 4, probably max at one time. But nobody, I'm sure of it, with no experience has ever dealt with 12 plus children at one time. So it will take them time to adjust. I just mean the people that are just straight up not wanting to do the work for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason, they just don't want to do the work. That's them. Them. This. Yeah. I think when it comes to a daycare space, they have lead teachers, assistant teachers, and then they have part-timers. Not all daycares have this part-time role. Usually it's just assistant and lead teacher. If you have a person that I guess really takes their lead teacher role, to heart and is aggressive, I guess, for a lack of a better word, when it comes to that role, kind of like a power struggle, you just really have to communicate. I think the best thing is to communicate because you are each other's direct co-worker, except with everybody else, they're your co-workers, but they're down the hall in another room. Y'all are direct co-workers. So communication and you talking, all the talks and everything matters and needs to be done because y'all are going to be in each other's face all day with children all day. Okay, and children can start to get on your nerves at some point, and you need to be able to take a minute and your teacher to understand and be more than willing to let you take a minute. But it's not going to happen if you are not getting along with your teacher. So really, really exhausted with admin. Hey, can we have this conversation? Hey, can we switch somebody? Because I don't feel like I'm being as productive and positive as I can be in my classroom due to he not wanting to do their part of the work. Because we here 8 hours. Please, you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something. So just making the expectations in your classroom clear and not being a micromanager. Like, everybody's grown. Like, we are just passing on information, making sure that you know what I know, and we are just making the best for the children at the end of the day. It's not about assisting, it's not about lead, it's about let's get the work done. Okay, let's get the work done. Let's have a classroom conversation. Say Valentine's Day is coming up. Who's doing the activities? Who's doing the food? Who's doing the flyer? Pin it out just like that. This is what we need to get done. Who's doing what? And it's like research. Who's researching the activities? Who's bringing all the materials together? Who's communicating it with the parents? Like, are we doing a dress code? Like, what are we doing? So all of that, when you're doing like a holiday event or any event, put it out on a paper. Have your classroom meeting and like, hey, this is what we got to get done. What y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? Because not all the work should not be on the lead teacher. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, because that's not fair. They already got to do majority of the paperwork, and they also got to do lesson plans. So I know I'm not helping with lesson plans. I try to make sure I say that, and I've said that to my team. Like, I'm not doing lesson plans, so I'm more than willing to help in any other area. I'll do the paperwork. I'll plan the events for the holiday seasons. I do the activities. according to the lesson plan. Like I'll do that stuff. I don't mind doing that, but I'm not doing lesson plans. I'm not doing lesson plans because there's only so much I get paid, and I'm not doing it. So that is my recommendation when it comes to classroom dynamics and just keeping an open line of communication, because some people it just simply don't want to do it. And when it comes to that, and especially if it's just you and that person, I'm gonna be in admin space every day. Y'all finna get an email, y'all finna get a text, and y'all about to see my face. We're gonna have to figure this out. Okay, we are gonna have to figure this out, because I cannot positively show up for these children when this person is negatively impacting me and not wanting to do her side of the work. That's just that. And that's not called being a team player when you're doing all the work and she's kicking back and not doing nothing. That is not a team player. That's called survival. Okay, that's called survival. So, plan out the activities. Ask everybody what they want to do to keep all the work at the same level for the most part, and everybody feel like they're contributing. Also, I already said communication, because communication is literally going to be the best thing. And once you start talking to people, also make a group chat. Make a group chat, because let me tell you, with my first situation, we didn't have no group chat. I said we don't need a group chat. There's not a necessary bone in my body that wanted a group chat with the first situation. The second situation, we have a group chat. Okay, we have a group chat and we talk about stuff outside of work. So then that makes everybody, it allows everybody to get to know each other outside of work and as a person, not just the lead teacher, not just the assistant teacher, not just the part-time teacher. It allows everybody to get to know each other as an individual, and then that also connects you a lot better when you're in work, because you know this person, like you literally know this person. So it's a lot easier to maneuver, because you know, oh yeah, she not feeling it, let me move over here and take over what she's doing. Oh, she gotta go to the bathroom, let me go over here and relieve her so she can go to the bathroom. You need to call off one day. You can put in a group chat what you really need to call off for. But we're more than willing to sign your paper when you have stuff going on, whether you need to call out, whether you need a day off, whether you need a week off. If we have a good bond and a good relationship, and we've been working and everybody communicates what they need and what they don't need and all the things, it's so much better. We're more than willing to have your back because you've had mine. So the relationships, it sometimes gotta go a little bit beyond a coworker relationship. So it makes sure that y'all just tight, and when stuff like this pop up, then it's fine. Yeah, burnout, stress, and unspoken resentment. I am not breaking up no fights against no wrong people. Okay? I'm not breaking up no fights because y'all didn't want to say what y'all had to say in the powwow. Okay? We got a powwow every week. If I said, hey, such and such, how did you feel like the week? How did you feel like the week went? And you say nothing, oh, it was good, but you really felt some type of way about what such and such did over there. Look, got nothing to do with me, but y'all better not be scrabbling, because it start building up. Like, cause y'all don't get it. For my daycare workers, for my education workers in general, in all categories, when you're working with people all day, every day, all week, every month, every year, like you're constantly working with the same people, is going to get like a sibling relationship at one point. So you have to communicate, and you have to learn how to respectfully communicate too, and clearly communicate your dislikes and likes, okay? Because everybody needs to get it off their chest. We have stuff, responsibilities outside of work that is going to add to our stress or add to our burnout or add to our exhaustion. So we need to be able to clearly communicate with our team in order for us to show up as our best selves for the children. Okay? So I want y'all to really look at y'all classroom's dynamic. Okay? Because my dynamic currently, everybody like this. Everybody like this. When we are able to, we share our food. We bring snacks. We bring drinks. We bring coffee in the morning. We bring energy drinks. Like if we're able to, we share. We contact each other. We talk. We all the things, right? Before, not so much. The energy was heavy. Everybody was quiet. Everybody was snappy, short-tempered, always in a bad mood, did not want to come to work. Now, completely different. So the classroom dynamic within the teachers are so important. So I want y'all to look at y'all's classroom dynamic and see what needs to be changed. Are y'all like this? Or are y'all like my first situation? Not so much, okay? Y'all don't have to be besties. Y'all don't have to go out every weekend together. But y'all do have to at least be cordial, or at least friends if y'all can. So I want y'all to do a little synopsis of your classroom, and I want to hear about it. So drop it in the comments about your classroom dynamic. So other than that, I'm going to leave it off and wrap it up here. I hope you all enjoyed this week's episode of Childcare Unlocked. Of course, everything is going to be in the socials. Everything's going to be in the socials in the description below. And if you want to share one of your teacher stories, my email is also in the description because I would love to hear. Alright, I will see y'all next week at 7 p.m. on Friday. Okay? And it's not 95 degrees. Bye, y'all.